under your eye. It was good for a few years. I really, really enjoyed it. And then one day it just went really puffy. And so I had it surgically removed. And I think the doctor tightened under my eye, like, let's be transparent. And so that really, really, really helped kind of refresh my face, if you will. Um, you either have, I'm never messing with filler. Don't ever mess with filler here. It's, take it from somebody who had to spend a lot of money to reverse it. Worst place you can put filler. If you really have hollows, go to a good plastic surgeon and do your own tissue that they take out and they put in there. So this is what really, all these elements are what makes the body strong and structured. And I want you to kind of notice the boomers who are now in their 80s and 90s. They're a lot stronger than the generation that comes up. And that's because a lot of the food wasn't as, when they were younger, the food it was more minerally dense. Let's just put it that way. There wasn't as many as these farming practices that kind of were introduced in the 80s and have just been ramping up, and it's getting worse. Like, a lot of the food isn't even grown in the soil anymore. And that's why everything is connected, as you can see here. So every thought, there's no, like, it's like a freeway. So every thought that you have, which is really important, affects every single cell in your body. What other products have you tried that helped you feel better? Getting sunlight. I'm not saying go burn in the sun, but 5-10 minutes of sunlight, really, really helpful. Get your vitamin D, your thyroid checked. If that's a little off, then you would want to look into selenium. Is really good. Beef liver, I take a few times a week to help with my iron. That's like a multivitamin. You can eat it if you enjoy it. I personally make my own supplements, or if you really want, you can go and buy beef liver supplements. So that's about it. But I'm taking a lot more supplements right now because I don't want to say trying to have a baby. We will have a baby. And I'm taking stuff that was backed by science for the egg quality. And I told my husband, once our baby comes, I'm so grateful to not have to take all these. A lot of them are for egg quality, and then some of them for my liver to deal with these some of these IVF things that I'm on right now. I just started doing stim cycles. This is going to be my 3rd cycle this month, trying it. PRP can be good. I've never done. Are you getting enough fiber? Balm is a good brand, and you just drink it with warm water and take that before you go to bed. And hopefully in the morning, you wake up and you just have a little bit with warm water, and that will help. It's why are you dealing with thyroid issues? Are you dealing with dehydration? Are you getting enough fiber? What are your thoughts? The blood cleaning. I've heard about that. It's I know that it's done in Sweden. I think they run your blood through ozone and blue light, if I'm mistaken. I mean, if you have the funds, I would say go for it. If it's something, I don't know. I don't really know. I knew a woman, she came to me, she had the C word, and she had a lot of funds. She was very well off. So I told her, besides listening to your doctor, you should go take that trip to that Swiss private clinic and do as many protocols as you can to clean out your blood and your liver and whatnot. So in that regards, like, if you were sick and you had the extra cash, your health is your wealth, then go for it. But if somebody is just wanting to do it and it's going to really put them in a financial strain, there's other ways to go around it. Chia seeds, I'm not a fan of chia seeds. I think basil seeds are a little more superior. There's more fiber and there's less lectins, which is kind of like proteins like gluten that are harder to digest. So look into basil seeds. So at 43, you do have to be, and this is where my stubbornness came in, you do have to be a little bit more open minded. And if I share, I'm going to share, I am on some thyroid meds because I got Hashimoto's last year after a very stressful period in my life, emotionally, and it just triggered it. Again, it runs in my family. So it was just triggered by this episode. But at 43, if your periods, what I do is, if it works, I'm going to share because I don't want to waste somebody's time. But you could look into letrozole. You take it from ultrasound to see if there's a dominant follicle and how big it is. Around cycle day 7, you want it behind. That's where your doctor could recommend IVFM and just kind of push it. And you could do mini IVF or IUI cycle. Now, doctors who are willing to do this in the US are NAPRO, to work with a fertility doctor. Both times I got pregnant, I didn't work with a doctor. I just did it on my own. But I came last year, it was just a realization that I need, my body is just kind of, I will watch them tomorrow. But yeah, because I didn't go anywhere yesterday or today. I've just been home. Into mugwort fascia release and starting those exercise and those fascia release. But mugwort oil, you can start massaging it, but you really want to start, I don't have tilted pelvic floor or whatnot. There's a lot of good videos by professionals out there on YouTube, which show you some gentle stretches that you can do at home and try to incorporate every day. Yes, I do over magnesium fiber. So what is your thyroid? You might be hypothyroidism, and that really slows a lot of things down. Best herbs for blood flow. Vitamin C helps with blood flow, but herbs, nettle helps with blood. I personally take Shilajit, so that's what I take beef liver, but I don't know if you're vegetarian. There's heme blood and there's non-heme. So there are some herbs out there. It would be a mixture of a blend. I don't think there's just one that boosts. There's like usually like mixture of formulas, and I would just kind of look that up if you're a vegetarian. A lot of women are hypothyroidism, definitely. I'm trying to get pregnant. I just turned 40, but I have fibroids. Going to see fertility doctor in May. Inshallah, it works. So in May, that's next month, what I would do, let me ask you a few personal questions. Do you have a lot of bloat and do you feel like you have a lot of water retention? Yes or no? Do you have a lot of, I can't say the word, but a big belly? Yes or no? These are important. If you do, then you have something in Chinese medicine called dampness. And you would want to get rid of those fibroids. Now, if they're too big, then the doctor can recommend a very small surgical procedure that is wonderful. But if they're small enough where the doctors are like, well, let's just, I don't want to waste your time. It's important to know IVF is very expensive and it's emotionally draining, physically draining, and there's no guarantees. So you want to set your body up in the best position so that IVF works with your body and not just like, oh, let's just see if, and then you've wasted time. Really, there's things like as you can do for those fibroids. If you have blood work, you can book a session with me and work one-on-one. But depending on how big if they are really, will recommend removing them, and you can do that. I have hyperthyroidism and on medication. Please tell me if I can something else besides medication. So what is your TSH? You don't ever want to come off thyroid meds without of your doctor, but what is your TSH level? Nettle leaf and cloves, but be the first try. Oh, blood clots. Okay, let me go back to your question. Low hormone, would progesterone be the first try? Your hormones are low. So is my question. Yes, lots of bloating, but I don't have a big belly, just pain. IV had MR fibroids are not blocking anything. It's just a cluster to try. Are you? There's a pharmaceutical drug called LDN. It's short for neck. I can't pronounce the word, but just look up Hashimoto's and LDN, LND. Is it LDN or LND? Hold on, let me just get you. And you can ask your doctor for it. LDN. LDN. Sorry, LDN. Low dose naltric. Now I can't pronounce it. Who comes up with these pharmaceutical names?
I think we can't talk about Zola on TikTok.
TSH is very high. So realistically, you can't just come off your meds because that could thyroid hormone is what is it would kind of put your body out of balance. But you can't look into things like supporting your liver. Sunflower lecithin is great for that. Dandelion root tea, taking selenium. Studies show 200 micrograms. Shilajit is wonderful. That will give you energy. And then if you are on a lot of thyroid meds and just T4 alone, you'd want to check your free T4, free T4 and T3, and ask your doctor for a little bit of T3. That's what is metabolic, helps with your metabolism and whatnot. I live in Boston and they did so many blood tests and it's very high. I'm 40. Barely a cycle, but I have been on so many steroids. I feel this is why I haven't been regular. That can be, but okay, so estrogen, you need estrogen to build the uterine lining up. And there's three forms of estrogen. There's estrogen, estradiol, and estradiol. Estradiol is what the ovaries, when your eggs in the follicular phase after your period is done, when there's an egg, they put out this estradiol. And as you have less eggs with age, which again is a biology, you can't really change that, you have less estradiol. So then your lining of your uterus, there's less estrogen, doesn't get thick enough. So think of progesterone as estrogen as the tent, but progesterone as the pole to keep the tent up. But if you don't have enough estrogen to build that tent, adding in progesterone won't do much. Does that make sense? So that's where, I don't know what country you're in.
That makes
sense. I don't know what country you're in, but I would definitely look into a NAPRO doctor. And if you're trying to get pregnant, then that you'd kind of need to work with a doctor at that age, just to just make sure that all the cards are stacked up with you, not against you. At that, if you were in your 20s or early 30s, I'd be like, okay, give yourself a year or two. But when you start entering in your 40s, you don't have a lot of time to just like, you kind of need to be a little bit more proactive. And that's where you can look into HRT with a little bit of low dose assisted cycles. Everything is on my website, my dear. Oh, next, naltrexone. own. So I have dyslexia, so it's hard for me to sometimes pronounce words. What's your advice on clearing arterial plaque without using system nattokinase? Look into nattokinase, which I'm going to get my husband on because these things tend to run in his family. Can you please start taking it? It's in the drawer. Nattokinase all the way, or systematic enzymes. Definitely my favorite. Just started estrogen cream as I was getting water. Okay. And constant. Yeah. So that tells me another that your estrogen is low because yes, estrogen keeps that area moist. And when the moisture goes away, pathogenic opportunities like bacteria can multiply. And that's why some women start to get UTIs. UTIs being a lot of times it's the, gosh, what strain of bacteria? I'm a little tired, slow today. I forgot the strain, but it's usually 90 times it's that one strain of bacteria that starts with little off. My TSH is 0.01. That's pretty low. That's pretty low. I had 2 iron transfusion as my iron was low and started estrogen. Gary, if you protocols, the best one that is the most bang for your buck, that's very expensive and you can't even go and buy it, is a company called Cellcore. It's a program where they give you. But here, I want you to understand something. We live in a world where we will constantly be exposed to parasites. So it's important to understand why are parasites attaching to you in the first place. They tend to eat the heavy metals. So when you just like kill them off, they release that stuff back into your body. And that's where you really want to make sure you're getting in the sauna, sweating out the aldehydes that they remain. You want to take something like binders. So it's just not like, oh, let me do a cleanse and everything's going to be better again. After you do a cleanse, you really want to be on some mineral support, getting sunlight. They tend to thrive in low vibrational bodies, right? So I would say Cellcore is number one. They're a little pricey, but they by far are the most, because why I know, I had a friend who was really, really, really into doing these cleanses all the time. And they knew like they would do the pharmaceutical ones, the ones from horses, like they would try everything. I think they were like almost amused when things would come out. And they said Cellcore by far was the best one. But after you want to, and Cellcore will tend to have binders. They also have the one with fulvic and humic acid. I would definitely then suggest something like Shilajit just to start remineralizing your body and taking care of it. And then getting in the sauna. And then while you're doing the cleanse, you really want to be more like doing like a paleo type diet. So lots of broth, no carbs for that whole week. I sorry, dear, I forgot what we were talking about, Jamar. I'm in the UK, London. 2:55. But I'm afraid of running out of time. I would say work on your body for a month or 2 to 3, and just yeah, you would go for it. Are you doing it in the UK? What country are you doing it for? And if you don't get good results, if they put you on high dose stims, then tell them about the studies where it was letrozole and low dose stims. And one of advice that you can get into a hyperbaric chamber. So let's say you start your injections. You would want to, for 5 or 6 days in a row, get into the hyperbaric chamber, and that oxygen helps just like regenerate your cells faster and help your body respond so you can make as many good quality eggs as you can. How to get rid of parasites for kids. I have this Rula. I just gave I think my son had ringworms, and I just gave him the pharmaceutical stuff and it worked. And we're going to do another tryout in 2 weeks. And with kids, it's really hard to get them to eat. healthy. He loves all the bad stuff. I'm just gonna be honest. I mean, he does eat. He likes like a good quality steak and bone broth, but I just gave him the pharmaceutical stuff that you just kind of like bite down on, and I gave him in kids doses. I have all these ear infections, and I'm tired of taking medicine. How can I help it stop? Uh, so you're taking a lot of antibiotics, is what does Shilajit come from? It comes from the earth. So basically the mountain, it comes on two mountains, the Himalayas and the Siberia, also on the Rocky Mountain, any mountain that is 10,000 feet above elevation. So within the earth's crust, the lava within it, it kind of like brings it up to the surface and it oozes out. And within that are the fulvic humic acid. What is that? Those are carbon compounds in the soil. When you grow vegetables, they encase the nutrients and give it to the fruits and vegetables. In our body, they encase the nutrients and they get it into the mitochondria, energy in, energy out. Also, it's very high in really important minerals like potassium and iron and Vadium and indium. These help with blood sugar regulation. And I really do believe like that's why some of the studies say that it helps with insulin resistance. And I've been on it for 6 years. I'm in my mid 40s. I should be like, they say once you hit perimenopause. And also I just, last year, like I said, Hashimoto's runs in my family. And my thyroid got a little disbalanced from emotional stress. They say like you should start gaining, and it was the opposite for me because I take it almost daily for my fertility journey. So if I don't take it, I just don't feel my best. But some of the good side effects is like hair growing, because it gives your body lots of iron, and that iron's going to the right. Is longer nails. I've always wanted long nails. My iron's better. Energy in the bedroom. And just faster metabolism. One thing I've noticed, which is really, really interesting. So we have a group of, I have a live-in nanny, and we get our live-in nannies from an agency. So hopefully we love this nanny. Hopefully she stays with us for a long time. But sometimes these girls, after a couple months, they want to transfer, or, they want to be closer to their families. So we've been with this agency for 5 years now. And when these girls come and live with us, a lot of them, because of the day, I'm living in Pakistan right now, and the diet here is very carb heavy, like they fry tortillas, and that's what they have with tea. Like there's no emphasis on protein. So a lot of these
tortilla, it's called
paratha. But I'm just trying to so they understand. Like imagine having a fried tortilla in the morning with like a milky sugary tea. That is like, starting your day. So a lot of these girls come in and they're over and they're puffy. And so when they live with us, they kind of adhere to our, you kind of, as in Rome, you just go with the flow. And I always put them on Shilajit because I'm like, oh, it's just going to give you energy. You're running after a toddler. You need the energy. And these girls like will lose 20, 30 pounds within 2-3 months. I mean, yes, they're younger, so their body responds faster, but I should just do like, honestly, a review of the before and after of all our nannies who have lived with us, because honestly, that would be the best review. Like, and all I do is get them on my art sort of food, which is like kind of like paleo Chinese, lots of broth, eggs, steamed veggies. And I put them on Shilajit, and these girls, like, they look night and day. I honestly, I want to ask her for her old before and after picture. I'm if using Cellcore, would you do Shilajit while or after? After. You always don't want to, less is more with the body. Don't overwhelm the body. Less is more. Less is more. Get in the sauna, just hydrate. Always, like, with the body, just slow wins the race. We love our. I have a sty on my eye that I have had for over a year. Flares from time to time. As I've given antibiotics and they helped, then came right back after. Anything for the sty or eye? I don't know if you can, you know what? DM me. I'm going to ask my mentor. Because with the eye, you have to kind of be a little bit. I'm going to ask my mentor. I think she might have a spray. Have you? I don't think. I'm looking up Claudia. You don't think Claudio Silver? I know that when I had an eye thing, I would put Claudio Silver. And the girl who had the ear thing, is she still on here? The girl with the ear thing, is she still on here? Can I treat it with herbs? Hyperthyroidism. No, not when it's that high, my dear. What you can do, yes, you can add herbs, but then you still need to go, you don't just stop your medication without getting blood work and your doctors. You kind of go and see as you're feeling better, you do blood work, and that once but with the thyroid, it's not an overnight fix. It usually takes a year to a year or more. It's not like a quick fix. The thyroid takes a little bit of time to get balanced. And it states he has mild to heavy fecal matter in his colon. He eats well, but I've been distracted with my... Is he going to the bathroom, Rula? Is it going to the bathroom every day, or he's backed up? I would just get him on apple pectin, just fiber, and mix a little bit of magnesium in there, from the Calm brand. Make it warm, and if you want it to taste a little bit better, just put like pomegranate juice or apple juice or orange juice, and just have him drink it. Just do that every night. Look, can you see if Claudio Silver works for a sty? Hold on. I just don't want to tell you something and then, but I think it could work. Okay. Have you've tried warm compresses? You're taking... One second, let me see. 9, I'm going to stop my medication because I'm trying to get pregnant with my 3rd child. So that I can't tell you to do that or not. That's something you need to. But if you're in the US, then the best route for you is to go look at a NAPRO doctor. They will holistically work with you, and they're a lot cheaper than IVF. I would say that is well worth your money and your time to just kindly advise a good Claudio Silver product for family and kids and adult. I think I have one on my website, but I don't know. This was years ago. I don't know if they've sold out or not. Can you check my Claudio Silver in the drawer? I have a brand. Oh, it's not there? Okay.
Close the door, please.
I would just look into a So, are you eating a lot of greasy food? And look into, there's a tea called, so in Chinese medicine, your liver is connected to your eyes. So I don't know your diet. Are you eating a lot of fried foods? Do you have a lot of anger or frustration build up? But look into the tea. Oh gosh, I can't pronounce this. My dyslexia is acting up. Let me just write this. And I would look into a Claudio Silver ointment. And whoever you buy to, reach out to the company and just kind of be like, hey, I want to put it on my sty, and see what they say. Tea bags. Okay, you could actually do that tea bag from that herb that I just said. That could work. Nice and a good idea. High lipids. I've not heard of niacin. I've heard of, gosh, why am I have blank? What did I put my father on for high cholesterol? What was that? Remember we bought that supplement? No. I've niacin. It could work, but there was something better that was more. Wait, I have it in my notes. Hold on. Bear with me. I didn't sleep well last night. There was a mosquito bite me every few minutes. Red yeast. Red yeast is what really would help. I put my father on that because they put him on statins. So look into red yeast, but you don't want to take it long term. Yeah, you don't want to eat fried, but you do want to have good quality fats. And with the fats, you want to look into ox bile. Hi, Napster. Thank you. Thank you. This year, I myself, my rock, and my friend, we both would have us once a year, but for some reason, for the first time this year, I've never had one. So I hardened oil due to oil. That can happen, but in Chinese medicine, anything, the ears is related to the kidneys, the eyes are related to the liver. I luckily still have good eyesight. I've never had like any eye stuff happen, or styes or vision stuff. So, but I try to take care of my liver really well. I take a lot of sunflower lecithin. I take things to move the bile. I take fiber. It's all about moving your bile. A good supplement is ALA. That's wonderful. That can lower fatty liver. It's known to help with fatty liver. Is rose water good to apply on the eye? No, because you don't know how clean the rose water is. So I personally would not. I'm just looking up something. I'm a little disappointed in TikTok.
I think they don't allow us to talk about sore. Because as soon as you start talking about it, it takes you down. There you go.
What?
Yeah, I think we shouldn't talk about supplements. I'll look into it.
Okay, but okay. Well, well, that's a shame, because that's why I don't even like posting on there anymore. It's just ridiculous. And I can't even appeal it.
You just leave it because we did violate. So there's no point.
What did you violate?
They don't want you to talk about supplements.
Okay. Hi, Sarah. How are you? Can you write them down? What, my dear? What? Sorry, I'm just like, my mind was, red yeast for cholesterol? What is your opinion on all the hype on B1? Vitamin B1? I think all the B vitamins are important. And that's why it's just good to get a whole, like a multivitamin but methylated form of B vitamins. But I tend to get most of my B vitamins from beef liver. I make my own supplements, and that's what works for me. And then with the MTHFR gene, I take it with TMG. And this phone is, hold on.
Here, the TV door. Close it.
Just B1. I haven't heard about the hype of B1. I need to look into that. You know, every few years there be a hype like NAD. Yes, all these things are good, but nothing will out. You can't. At the end of the day, your sleep, who you surround yourself with, are they putting your nervous system in fight or flight, and getting some good minerals and some sunlight? Nothing can really out supplement that. Your sleep, the people you surround yourself with, are they helping your system stay calm, or are they putting you in fight or flight? Getting sunlight and fresh air, and just taking some minerals. Nothing will out supplement that. Like, yeah, you can go do NAD, but if your system's in fight or flight and you're not sleeping well, it's only going to take you so far. And sometimes it's the people we're living with that can cause the most stress.
That sign shows a giant tentacle creature lifting a whole car like it's a toy. Is that
Okay, we're gonna do a quick prayer, and then I'm gonna go. Before I go, who here is taking Zor? I always love to see my Zor family, and anybody. Our Hava will be shipped out. Who purchased and is waiting? We're shipping it out this week, so just know that we're about to ship it out, and I just want to thank you for your patience. But it's in stock now. Who here is taking Zor? Give me a hands up and be as transparent. Like, what are you feeling? Are you feeling anything? Are you feeling nothing? I'd love to know. Anybody taking Zor? You are. Rula, you're taking Zor? Are you feeling anything on it? Are you taking it? Energy for the 6-year-old boy and with the 1-year-old baby girl. Wow. So you had 6 and then 1. How old are you, my dear? My son's 4, and we are hope we will have another baby. So I'm like, oh, there's going to be a huge age gap, but I kind of like that age gap because you kind of like had enough time with your first, and then you're going to bring in another one. So I kind of like that, but I'm so happy it's helping you. I know being a mom can require a lot of energy. You're 41. Wow. Wow. Did you get pregnant naturally, or did you have to do assisted IVF? And who here is using Hava face cream? I'm also interested in that. Who here is using Hava face cream? The best age gap and needed that. Thank you, my love. I guided my husband with eating clean and getting sunlight and supplement. That is amazing. Were you taking Shilajit? I'm a little curious. Were you taking Shilajit before you got pregnant, or you just started adding it after you got pregnant? Wow. If you could leave us a review on our website, if you were taking my brand, that would be so, so, so helpful. I think it would really, really help a lot of women who, when you are trying to conceive, you need to have the most energy. Your body, if it's tired, it's not going to make life. Like having a baby will take out every resource you have. So you want to have a lot of savings account of minerals in your resources. We did both. We just came back from with his friends. So that's a lot of sun. I always say sunlight. Always. If you, it's on our website, my love, on my website. And if you like, I can bring my face cream Hava. We are back in stock. If you like to show, Zora is our brand. Love, can you get me the face cream and my Hava cream? And if you've noticed this year, I started wearing a little bit of makeup because a lot of makeup, I love makeup, but it's so not good for your hormones long term. And especially if you want to wear it day in and day out. So can you just bring the little blush cream? I just want to show them. We also created this kind of like blush you can wear on your lips or your cheeks. I have it on right now. Don't have anything on here. You can put it here. And it's also very clean. I will have that up. But this is Zor. It's an emollient cream. You can use it as a cleansing balm or as a face moisturizer. And I'm just going to do, okay. And it just smells, it's made with blue, it's no fragrance, no parabens, no preservatives. It's just all shea butter, cocoa butter, mango butter, niacinamide, blue tansy. I can't pronounce that word, but beautiful. Vitamin A derived from a flower. I can't pronounce the word, but it starts with B. And then this is I just wanted something that would be really clean that I can wear. Will you ship to the, yes, we ship to the US. So our Zor is stocked in the US. We ship in bulk to the US. But our Hava, we ship from overseas, but we ship worldwide. I've never put it on my eyelid. I mean, I could, but I don't really do makeup on my eyelid. So that isn't on the website, but I don't know if you, Abi, sell some apricot seed. I think the best come from Pakistan. It's hard to find Canada. You know, I've wanted to, but here's the thing. Anytime I do a video about that, my grandma grew up eating those apricot seeds. Anytime I've done a video, I've gotten in trouble because they contain a little bit of cyanide, which is vitamin B17. So I don't like to do things that like people just like. There's two groups of people. There's people who are open-minded and understand that it's actually good for you, and then there's the complete opposite who will come after you. So that's why I've never kind of gone down that route. But yes, the best ones come from the Hunza Valley. I know. And I usually, when I was taking it a year or two ago, I stopped once I was trying to get pregnant, but yeah. So this is how it comes in here, and you can use it as a cleanser. I just put some on my cheeks, and especially if you like to wear makeup, I don't, but if you do, you can also use it as a primer underneath your makeup if you wear concealer, so you don't get those like cracks underneath your eyes. And then always the necklines. Sarah, the best thing would be to look into a therapist, and you need to strength train that area. And also look into moxa, and if you have, you can look into eating Jobs tier. That will help kind of drain out any of the dampness, but there's no way around it besides going to a therapist and doing certain exercises or releasing that fascia a couple times a week. It's like candy there. And I know. It's just whenever I've done a video, the backlash that I got, and it just left a negative taste in my mouth. So that's why I kind of never. But I don't know if you want me to talk about it, what I'm passionate about. Besides health and wellness, I've always been passionate about fashion since a young age. One of my first jobs was at Saks Fifth Avenue. I used to, since I can remember, little girl, I'd get Vogue magazine every month and I would study, and I've always loved fashion. And when I moved to Pakistan, I really was so mesmerized by the hand embroidery dresses, if you will. So I really want to bring that. Would you guys be interested if I brought some of these hand embroidered pieces to life, something that people could purchase and wear and know that it's one of a kind, it's not fast fashion, and it's made with love and care, and it's something that you actually keep in your closet. Like before, I believe vintage clothes used to be so well tailored with silks and chiffons, and if you ever go to estate sales, like you would see the clothes just in pristine condition because they were like works of art. And that's what a lot of the clothes I wear. I like to have good quality. Okay, love, can you just give me my green dress that we had made? I just want to show you one piece. I have another page. If you guys could all follow it and give it some love, I will be posting there more often, the fashion stuff, and do more like what I eat in a day. And the page is Bespoke Glamour. Bespoke Glamour. Okay, so here's one piece. Let me just stand up because, yeah, you can't. This is all hand embroidered. That is all. And this would come in, I think I want to start very slow. I don't want to overwhelm myself, but I would have this in all white with white, black with white, baby blue, and pink. Green was obviously something I chose, but yeah. Isn't it beautiful? What do you guys think? And that is all like mirror work in there. It's really just so. And I believe it's like, how many hours do you think this takes them to make?
Oh, it takes them a long time.
It takes them months to make a dress. So, what did you guys think? Did you like it? It's a little different, but yes, different regions have different. It's part of the culture. Women get together and they just hand embroider these things rather than being made in a factory. It's really some really beautiful pieces, and it comes with, they call it the shawl, the dupatta.
The Canadian scarf, Scandinavian scarf.
Yeah. But I would make some shorter style, of course, for if you want to just wear it with jeans. I would make like a blouse where it's shorter and you can just kind of wear it with jeans. Is it beautiful? Thank you. I think so. I think it's really, and then let me show you between these two. I really want to get your opinion because your opinion really matters to me. Can you get me the white dress? The white dress? I want to ask you, between this one isn't hand embroidered, but I actually chose the detailing, and I will show you this dress. This is more something you could wear to dinner, out. It's a little different. It's not hand embroidered, but it's just as beautiful. No, the one with the flower one, love. And let me know between the two. I really, really want your honest feedback. The one with the little beads here, the pink flowers.
Oh, the same thing.
Yeah, the pink flowers. So you just tell me, I'm going to hold it up and you tell me green versus the white one. Okay, because I love your opinion. Because I think I'm going to have only like 10 items when I first start, but I really want to know what people are interested in. It's more towards the back of the closet. Okay, there. No, let me get it. Hold on. This, love, this. Okay, so this right here, this right here, this is more of a tighter style, tight, and then they have like the little beading detail right there, and there's like beading detail on the arm. This, and it's just kind of like a long, straight maxi. It's not flared, and then they have the beading detail with the inner chiffon lining. So which one do you guys, honest opinion, which one do you guys like? This green, the more hand embroidered, or this dress? Love the white detail. Both are beautiful. Both are beautiful. Okay. Team green, team white. This one is more tighter. And I think I think I could also make it in a shorter top, right? A top, if you want to wear it with jeans, like a tunic. I love the green. Okay, good. Okay, good. That's good to know. Anybody else? Hi. We all have our colors, and ours both complement you so well. I think the white and pink flowers is so nice for spring right now. I missed the green. Here's the green, my dear. So this is all hand embroidered. This takes months to make. This is, of course, more detailed, and you can see it's very delicate. So this is something that you hand wash. It's a little bit, now if I made this, I wouldn't choose the green color. If I had it on our site, I would choose white and black, white on pink, or white on baby blue. I wouldn't, green is like, it's an acquired taste, but it would be this design with the mirror work. But then this is something more that's like more contemporary and modern, and a little bit more like feminine. This is more like I'm wearing unique, one of a kind. Nobody will ever have it, like a work of art. Which one do you guys like more? You love the green design. Yeah, I will have the green design and other colors. And let me ask you, what would be the price range where you think, okay, this is a good price range, I'd want to get this dress? Because your input really, really, really matters to me. I've been if you've been following me for a while, I've always brought up these dresses for the past 4 years. The white it is very pretty. It is. I did another one that was all white. That kind of look. Oh my God, my husband broke the hanger. I had a Ralph Lauren purple label. I'm a huge fan of Purple Label. It's expensive, but I gave him the Purple Label dress, and I just said I gave him the silhouette. So the Purple Label dress was shorter, but he copied it to a T. Now this is just pure white. It's a white maxi. And I was like, I want the silhouette of Ralph Lauren Purple Label, and inside the Purple Label dress, which I ended up buying at a consignment store back in the day. But if you know Ralph Lauren, they can run up to $2,000-$3,000. I had him do again, everything is pure silk chiffon. I had him do the chiffon on the inside. Hand embroidery always takes time and hard work. The hand embroidery will probably be a little bit, I'm thinking around 120. I want it to be a little bit of, I want it to be affordable, but I don't want it to be like, because I remember shopping at Saks Fifth Avenue. The quality today is crap and you're not even getting stuff. So 120 to 150 range. Does that sound like reasonable? Again, you guys are helping me a lot with these decisions. Okay. I'm going to get going. Thank you so much for your input. I think I will be back live in a few days, God willing. We're going to end with a prayer. 100 is fair. Yeah, because then there's shipping. Yeah, and the other one's around 75-ish. And then, of course, shipping. 110 would be. Yeah, but then we have to calculate the shipping, which is, unfortunately, it's become so expensive. I don't know what's going on in the world, but I will figure out a way. I'm thinking of just having like little trinkets on the website to kind of outdo the shipping cost, because I want to kind of keep shipping low and I'll just pay for shipping out of pocket. But then I kind of need something to like, so I'll figure it out. But we're going to say a prayer now. And again, if I didn't get to you, please always DM me. I'm always here for you. I just want to thank you guys for your support. And if I'm not posting a lot of health and wellness, just know that these platforms don't like it. And that's why I kind of been venturing away from it. And it's really, really annoying when you post something health and wellness and you get flagged. It just really leaves a bad taste in your mouth. But if you ever have any questions, you can always reach out. Okay. I asked, and again, when I say God, whoever you feel comfortable praying or how you like to pray, that is your personal experience, your personal journey in life, your personal, very sacred way that you connect. There's no judgment here. We are a judge-free zone. So I ask God, my spirit guides, my angels, to help me become the best version of myself, spiritually, mentally, physically, emotionally, and release everything from my life that is holding me back from my highest good, every thought, every emotion, every habit, every person, every food, and replace it with the highest form of self-love. I ask you to always let light win. Sometimes I don't understand why things happen in the world, but I have to trust that there's always a better plan. And I just ask you to help relieve the hardship that we are going through as a collective, whether that just make it easy and give us the strength to go through it. Give us the strength and let us come out on the other end when it's all said and done, stronger, wiser, smarter, wealthier, and more abundant in all forms. Amen. Okay, I hope you like that. I always have to pray. For me, prayer is my rock, my foundation. Taking on all the life stuff on your own, trust me, just give it to whoever you want to. Give it to God. He'll take care of it. Um, and one practice that's really, really been helpful is every morning I try to say out loud 10 things I'm grateful for: my son, my husband, my health, my home. Just you realize, like, wow, I have a lot. Just the fact that you got up for another day, your breakfast on your table. These things really, really help ground you in some way, help you connect to yourself again. And then checking in with yourself whenever you're feeling overwhelmed, just be like, hey, you've got this. You've got this. Like, why are you feeling this way? Like touching right here and just asking yourself, like, it's okay. Try to have practices that help you connect to nature yourself. So for me, prayer is always number one. That's the foundation of my life. But then I love doing qigong. It's just amazing doing, just like moving the body in certain ways. Really, really helpful. I love just doing with qigong. You incorporate breath work, so it's like two in one. It's good in that regards. Uh, why did this happen? I'm just so. I don't know. I peeled it. Let's see what happens. This is why I don't enjoy going live here anymore. Um, but I didn't even say anything. So we'll see what happens. But oh, is it happening to everybody, Mari? Are you on other people's lives and it's happening to everybody? Because I don't know. I don't go on a lot of people's lives. I do go on like some of there's a girl on here. She's really, really amazing. She reads into spirit babies, and for some reason I really enjoy her energy, but she's on live for hours. It doesn't seem to happen to her. So I'm a little confused. Like, why is it happening to me? Huh. But it's weird because other people's lives, like they're doing bookings for readings. Like she does like tarot cards. I don't know. I have to look into this. Okay, so it's a theme. No, maybe. So is it just like the American people live? Is it like the Americans that are going live that's happening? Because, this has been sold to a different company. Because they just give you restrictions and then appeal not approved. So I appealed it. It's not approved. Um, I don't know. We'll see what happens. But over on the pink platform, the pink, no issues, was there for an hour. No issues. And then I have another DHA mommy, No, Bridget, I don't think it's that. There's nobody in here that. I don't think so. And do people actually do that? Like, we're just talking. It's like chatting, having coffee. Are people really that mean and angry at themselves? Where are you located? It's usually the reason why YouTube is heavily censored, especially if they flag your location as suspicious and plus push the narratives. That was on. It's more since we got. Yeah. Yep, Mari, it is. And we're not even going to go to the founder that owns who it got pushed over to. Let's not go into more rabbit holes, okay? I've gotten in enough trouble today. Yeah. I got a restriction. I wasn't even talking about anything.
And you stopped or you're still there?
I'm still there, but they won't push it out. But they said it's happening to a lot of people's lives.
Well, did you change the settings or anything?
No, because last time we always change the settings, it was still happening. So then I didn't change the settings thinking it would, and it still happened. And I didn't say a single thing.
Maybe you should start doing the cards or get those.
No, but
things
that's
in
what
your
I'm
hands.
saying. Like the girls, they're like, oh, book a set, book, and then they even write their prices up. That's redirecting. I'm just very confused.
Because I think you were talking about health.
No, but I wasn't talking about health.
Are people asking questions?
No, nobody was asking a single question.
What were you asking? What were you talking about? You were talking about.
No, we were talking about. What were we talking about? Nothing, literally.
It doesn't make any sense. That's what I'm saying.
Bridget, the one that starts with I.
You should start talking to
N.
people.
IN, the big one, the other big one.
No, but they were asking questions about.
No, they didn't. Not a single one did. That's what's it's really frustrating. If you notice, I don't post on here anymore. Anytime I post a video, and then they warn me about, and it gets to a point where I'm like, what is the point of this? What is the point of this?
Oh, somebody's saying if they flag your topic, the location suspicious. Oh. Okay.
What you?
All right. So we have to do something. All right. I know what.
Dada, what's a real place?
I asked about.
Thank you. Who was that?
She asked about my
That
face
is
routine.
Angel.
So I showed you that stick, and then I used this, which is Hava on. Okay, but it's a balm, a cleansing balm, and a moisturizer. So I use a serum because as you get older, you do want to use certain serums, like peptides help with growth, signaling your skin to make growth factors. So I use a peptide cream, and then I put this over it, and it seals it in like saran wrap. Can't say any products unless you sell it on their shop.
No, but you were saying you were not talking about.
I wasn't talking.
No, it has more to do with the location. I know what it is. Are you still there?
Yes, I do, but
Are
on
people
our
coming
site. No, so yes, I think only the followers are allowed to come in, but it won't push it to the FYP.
Well, yeah, no, but that means that people.
Oh, your live is not eligible for recommendation and it restricted in search results because it redirects people.
No, it doesn't.
But then the other one had to do with integrity.
Really?
The last one.
Yeah. It's this person who says something about location. So I'll look into it. I know what it is. It's the VPN that we're. So let's not talk about it. Yeah.
But how about
I'll fix it. I know what. Yeah. I think they also. We'll see.
Is that why not that many?
Yeah. It's okay. I know what to do. I'll fix it.
Oracle, yeah. Well, like I said, the Age of Aquarius, if you've known me for a while, I don't know much about, I'm not into astrology, but I do know that when certain planets align a certain way, they give off an energy. And now we're in the Age of Aquarius. We used to be in Taurus, I believe. And we're going to be in the Age of Aquarius for the next 80 years, 100 years. Our kids will be in our great grandkids. And the Age of Aquarius, fiery. Okay, so again, like I said, I'm not that into astrology. I don't know as much, but I do know with the Age of Aquarius that, like, yes, we're all connected. And more and more people will be moving off the grid and building communities, like the whole like Age of Aquarius, and growing their own food. And that's how my grandma, she had two sons. They were both surgeons, very successful, very wealthy, lived in the city, and she chose to grow up in the village, a remote village on the farm in a mud hut home, had to like burn her own, no like stove, would make everything on a fire, like everything back to nature, grew her own food, grew her. We have 7 planets in Aquarius right now, so everyone is angry and aggressive. Spread love. Oh my God, Christina, thank you. Like, I thought I was like going a little crazy. Love, wait, when is that going to be over? We have 7 planets in Aries right now.
All right.
So my sun is in Aries. Sun started today. When's it ending, Christine? Tell us more. When? So it started today. Oh my gosh. I felt like today, like I really had to go out and do more breath work and qigong. I was just really feeling heavy, not heavy, but just like I have my moon in Aries. So I'm emotionally, like my husband and I were both Scorpios, but we both have our moon in Aries. So we get really,
Aries too.
yeah, we do. But you're a lot calmer than me. What did you do to calm that fire?
I grew up. Well, literally, I grew up.
What are your thoughts? I don't like retinol. It's very harsh on the liver. I'd rather do like uh, plant-based retinols, which we have in our cream. And I feel like retinol over term can thin the skin long term. I'm more a fan of peptides and good moisturizing ceramides and emollient creams. I'm not a huge fan of retinol. And in Chinese medicine, it can be a little too harsh on the liver. So, because anything you put on your skin gets absorbed into your bloodstream. So, you want to be a little bit mindful of that. The most important thing I would say as you're entering your 40s, mid 40s is muscle mass, bone mass, getting your minerals, getting a little bit of sunlight. And I've never done lasers. That stuff kind of scares me, but I have done last year. It was really amazing. We have a friend who's a really great plastic surgeon. We did stem cell therapy, and it really it was chef's kiss. It's a little pricey, but it's really good. I'm a Taurus, and May I have no idea what I'm else. I've been annoyed and irritable for the past 2 days post menopause. So it isn't a month. So it isn't a monthly thing. Yeah. What is stem cell? So they do it in Korea where they take like peptides and they inject it into your skin, and then they derma roll over it, dermablade. And he did it last year for me. It was really, I don't know, I really liked it. It just gave your skin a boost. But I don't know if they're doing it in the US. Have you done lip filler? I wanted a tiny so I did, Bridget. Yeah, I did a little bit. So I always had this is natural. I always had very thin upper lips. I have overlined my lips, you can kind of see. And last year, when I did the stem cell, the doctor was like, do you want to do a little bit of lip filler? I was like, I don't know. Because, you're always like thinking in your head, you're going to go like, look like. So he's like, no, we'll just do a tiny bit. So he did a tiny bit here, and he put a little bit here because my lip, this area, I had lost teeth for 10 years. So this side of my face became a little collapse. So it was uneven. So he did a little bit here, but mostly here. And I loved it. I don't know what he did, but I really think it depends on the injector. But I wouldn't go back and do more, because sometimes you're like, oh, I want to do more. Sometimes without any lipstick, I'm like, oh, I could do a little bit more, but then there's a fine line. So I just kind of overline my lips and it looks a lot better. Hi. I just want to see. Where's my husband's phone? 1 second. Thank you. Well, I've been on my fertility journey. I'm so ready for this journey to be over. By the grace of God, I think God is trying. I got pregnant first time at 40, and then again with the lowest AMH. Doctors are like, you're gonna be crazy if you think you're get pregnant, and I did. And then I thought I was just gonna get pregnant again, and then menopause, like perimenopause. Like one day I woke up and there was no more period, and I was like, what's going on? And I started getting hot flashes. So this is the third cycle. I've been taking the supplements daily for eating right for the last almost 2 years of my life. So maybe that's what's giving the glow. I'm taking my Shilajit daily. I'm taking really good care of myself. But this is my third cycle of doing like stimulated cycles. And the doctor was like, because I wanted to do an IUI cycle, and my body doesn't really like these things. And she was just like, I think you need to just go straight for IVF. But me being me, what are stimulated cycles? You take like IVF injections to help your follicles grow, FSH. Me being me, I have one thing up my sleeve. She thinks I'm going to the IVF clinic. Me being me, I was like, you didn't give me a chance. I have a different plan, which I read up on in studies. It helped rather than going with high doses. So I have one more trick up my sleeve. And if that doesn't work, I have been praying daily every night, because I really don't want to do IVF. First of all, it's financially draining and there's no guarantees. It's emotionally draining. And the clinic, she was very transparent. She doesn't have the best technology. When your eggs are a little bit older, you want the best, latest technology. And she said that clinic is like 8 hours away. So we'll see. I think my plan will work. But if anything, it will give me more data to have. Girl. Oh my gosh. Thank you, Reem. I'm going to be, it's crazy how I'm going to be in my mid 40s. Let's just put it that way, in the fall. And it goes by fast. It goes by fast. Let me tell you. Like, I remember I just turned 40 like yesterday, and somehow I'm already almost like 45. What happened? It goes by fast. Thank you. We did move, Bridget. So we moved into a new place, right? I'm loving it. It was very heavy energy. I didn't really know about these things because last year we were renting a 9 home and we were having the hardest time. 9 is all about cycles ending and rebirth. And so that's when I kind of like we moved out of the mold home. We built a home from the ground up. He did? Why were you not listening?
When I was getting a candle for Papa.
Okay.
Can I give him?
Did you eat dinner?
Yeah.
What did you eat?
I finished my noodles.
Let me ask Arfa. Go tell Arfa to come here.
Mom,
because I know you've been fibbing. You've been fibbing to me. Did you finish your noodles? Arfa? Did Rayan finish his noodles? Okay. Okay, good. I lived in a 9 home. That's what took me down the rabbit hole. So this home is a 13, which adds up to a 4. Structure, long-term stability, all that blah, blah, blah. So then I changed the front address, but I'm like, something just doesn't, it feels really heavy since we've moved in. Like things aren't just flowing. So then my husband like looks into Vastu and Feng Shui. So I was like, okay, there's different aspects. And I guess it makes sense because like the home, everything has an energetic field around it. And Feng Shui and Vastu, the door where your door is facing, that's like the mouth of the home. And there's certain positions that are more favorable than others. Apparently, the position that we built our home in the front entrance is one of the worst. So I was like, oh, that's great. We live in a 4 home. It's all about hard work. And I was like, dude, and then and you don't break down a master number, 11, 22. These are master numbers. You wouldn't break down them, or 33. But the rest, you break them down. Okay. So then I was like, okay, this is, I guess, but because like nothing's making sense. So you would be 4 plus 1 is 5. 5 plus 9 is 14. 1 plus 4 is 5. 5 is very creative. You like to travel. Lots of, I don't know, people coming in and out, lots of guests. You're in a 7 home. That's very spiritual. 7 home is good. That's one of the better homes. 4 can be, it's good, but it's a lot of hard work. So then we started doing some like a 9 home. So 9 can be good if you have 9 in your birth chart, in your numerology. But 9 can also be one of the worst if you don't have a 9 in your birth chart. It can be cycles ending, sicknesses, divorces. It's just about cycles ending. So 3 plus 9 would be 11, 10, 11, 12. Plus 9 is 12 plus 9 is 21. 2 plus 1 is 3, right? And then you would look up what is a 3 home like, and it gives you the pros and the cons. They say in 3 homes, I don't know. They say, again, there usually has a cheating spouse. The worst, you don't want to live in a 3, 6, 9. 4 can be good, but it's about long-term stability and putting in a lot of work. But anyway, we have a 4 home, and then the entrance isn't the best facing entrance. So then I went ahead and I did some remedies. We're going to buy, we're going to, so we put certain plants out front of our door. Which way is the entry? The best entry is the north facing home. North, northeast. That is the best. Southwest is one of the worst. That's what my home faces. But there's remedies that you can do. So we bought the plants to put in front. We haven't built the door yet. We are living in the basement section. So we're buying a stone door with brass handles. So some people, like if you're Jewish, they put a mezuzah. If you're a Christian, you can put so we're going to have like an art with an Islamic, one of God's names, which means blessings. And we'll have it in stone. We'll have it made with crystals. We're hanging that up on the wall. We put I don't know, they said to get a copper pyramid to help the energies that are negative to like flow back out, because the chi, the direction of the home isn't ideal. So since we did a few of those things, and then get a wind chime with wood and brass. So I ordered all these things. We'll see what happens. But since I've been doing that, it is feeling a little bit lighter. My husband is so into these. So my husband loves skincare. We do our nails together. We do our hair together. Oh my God. Reem, I didn't have anything figured out in my 20s, my love. Just enjoy, make the mistakes, because life just gets better. That's how I would tell her. I didn't have things figured out until 33, but my 20s were the worst. My 20, 22, 23, 24, 25, some of the worst years of my life. Like really bad relationships that sucked the living life force out of me. Not only emotionally, but financially drained me because I was an overgiver. And I thought, well, okay, you just give, give, give. I've learned. And when I met my husband, I wasn't looking. He wasn't looking. I wasn't looking. And I think that's what really helped us come not from a place of lack, but more from a place of gratitude. And energetically, we were more of a vibrational match. We were friends. Oh wow. Right, Bridget, doesn't it fly by? Just tell the youngins, enjoy because once you hit like 40, I just feel like it just kind of flies by. But I feel like life gets better in that you have more wisdom, you're more confident in yourself. There's a confidence that comes with age. What did I apply? I've always had high eyebrows. I wish they were a little bit lower, but I do a lot of this when I do my creams. I do this a lot, but my eyebrows have always. Maybe there's a picture of me when I was a kid. They've always been lifted. Oh, just enjoy and don't jump into a relationship. I know that society will tell you, "Oh, you're getting old. You're." I met my husband at 39. I had my baby at 40, and together we literally built such a beautiful life together. We're a team, and mind you, my husband. Watch your second to last video. Let me follow you. Are you asking me to watch your video, my dear? Um, do you want me to follow you, Bridget? Would you like me to follow you? Um, okay. How do you follow? Hold on. 1 second. There we go. Follow back. Yay. No, just enjoy, romanticize your life, romanticize your time. You will never, once you have kids and a husband, so have routines, wake up, don't go to your phone first thing, say 10 things you're grateful for out loud. Have an exercise routine, prayer, have a skincare routine, like enjoy, find that happiness within yourself. And as you get older, I'm going to be realistic, your friend group kind of shrinks. It's very hard to have good quality friends. I had a dear friend for 12 years, and then in 2020, because I wasn't scared about what was going on, and we just kind of like fell apart. It was just like it was I was already working on myself, and again, those people, it's a vibration. Everything's a vibration. They either meet you or they don't. And so I haven't really made friends since then, and I don't really feel the need. I have friendship in God, and I have my husband, my child. I'm going to show you a picture of vibration. Look at this. Isn't that just the energy? Isn't that just so, oh my gosh. I have 5 boys, and sometimes it's hard doing things from. Wow, amen, mom. That's I have 1. I can't imagine 5. You must be superwoman. It's hard. Yeah, it can be hard. But I do your boys go out and play a lot? Do you let them play? Sure, Sally. Let me just. Why is it not letting me go to your account? There you go. I have a couple versions of that. a couple versions of what were we talking about? Oh, wow. That is definitely a very hard choice to homeschool. I feel you. My husband wants to homeschool because I don't know. We still haven't made that decision, but we're not putting him in school yet. He just turned 4, and everybody's like, "Oh, when are you guys sending him to school? When are you guys sending him to school?" Oh, wow. That is so beautiful. But here I thought I would, like, because I'm always talking about, if you know me, that I've always been a huge, I believe in Shilajit. And then here is a periodic table. Right top, it says energy. And right here is all the minerals, right? We're supposed to get it through our soil, but we know that our soils are so depleted. So I thought that was so beautiful. Like the letters stand for the mineral, so Ca, and those numbers are just basically how many atoms and protons and neutrons are around each. So every thought, every emotion, every habit, every mineral has its own energetic atoms, protons, neutrons. That's why I'm a huge believer in taking minerals. So important. And that's why I will always stand behind, because man hasn't corrupted those mountaintops yet. I will always stand behind. But we're in a world where our food is just heavily manipulated, herbicides, pesticides, fungicides. Some of it's not even grown anymore in the soil. Like food that doesn't go bad. And then I heard that they also put into the food. That's really scary. Really scary. Borax. So borax, I had being in the holistic field, you have a lot of friends, and some of them were really older, and they would just, thank you, Shells. They would just like really experiment with stuff. And I had a friend who would take it for boron because borax has boron. It's a mineral. But I think you have to be careful with certain minerals. You don't like, it's like a teeter totter, and they all kind of balance each other out. And if you look at the earth, yin and yang, hot and cold, male, female, we all need like this inner flow of energy exchange. And with minerals, you don't want to go too crazy with one because you can undo the other. Like if you take too much zinc, then you can undo your copper. We wouldn't want that. Same thing if you take too much potassium, you can unbalance your calcium. So everything, I think with Shilajit, you're getting the right dose. Just taking boron straight. Now, one way you can do with borax is take a bath in borax, and that helps get boron into, or do a foot bath. Now, I wash my clothes with borax. I love it. We order it. I order a couple pounds every few months. Yep, because it's not. Yeah, what my husband and I would like to do in the near future is have heirloom wheat that is not sprayed with pesticides and go back to radionics. We would put the dirt and then send out like radionics energy, and bugs are very sensitive to that. And it works because interestingly enough, I can't go down the rabbit hole, but it was outlawed by a big corporation that starts with C. And because they, the big fertilizing companies didn't want that. It would take away from their business. So we will go back to heirloom wheat, and then we will spray and also send energy of more minerals to the crops. Oh, and I forgot to tell you guys, I also added energy. Did you put that on the website?
Yeah.
I also, inside the Hava, I infuse it. We infused it. We put it in the radionics machine. I infused it with self-love and confidence, because I believe that when your confidence speaks before anything. And I want women to love themselves more than anything, love themselves, having healthy boundaries, and confidence. So we put that energy into the cream. Please do. My husband is gray in his beard hair with M, and yes, I bathe in. Oh, I want to look into that. I do have some here even. phony. I actually do more of what I eat in a day. On my other TikTok page, it's mommy DHA mommy. So please follow me there. And diatomaceous earth can be a little bit rough. My teacher wasn't a fan because, as well as cleansing you, it can also take a lot of your minerals with it, and we're already minerally deficient. So my teacher wasn't a huge fan, and that made sense. I remember, I've experimented a lot with my body, and I did that almost 12 years ago, and I just felt really, really kind of like depleted after doing one of those cleanses. So I think the best way is just lots of minerals. Mari, what was your question? Oh, yes, on crops. Yes, definitely. You could, but then you'd also want to remineralize your soil. So look into fulvic acid, humic acid, worm casings. If you get pasteurized eggs, you can grind it up and put it into your soil. And then I'm going to look into that. I actually have some here. But I'm going to go because it's dinner time. What time is it, love?
It's 9:30.
Okay, I have to go eat dinner. I don't want to eat dinner too late. We're going to say a quick prayer. Is never good. We need folic acid. No, yeah, that's a synthetic version. You want folate, and I get mine from beef liver. Thank you, Lamb Chop. Thank you. I know you moved back home enjoying the beauty. How's social life? Social life, like friends, or social like going out to coffee shops and restaurants and shopping? Because friends wise, I don't have a lot of friends. I don't have time for them. Not that I don't have time. It's just as you get older, you just it's very hard to make meaningful relationships. But going out, no, I don't have many friends. My husband's my friend. He's my best friend. And then I would say I enjoy spending a lot of time alone. So it would be nice to, now that my son is maybe in school, I would like to do some more like play groups. That would be nice with other moms. That would be nice. But I did take him to play groups with other moms, and it was okay. I feel like some of them can be a little bit judgmental, right, love? They were a little judgy.
Really? How?
Yeah, they're just a little fake. They're a little phony.
Really?
Well, I mean, the whole like how she stopped calling and we kept reaching out, and. So, yeah. Okay, I'm going to say a quick prayer. When you come back to the will we connect? I definitely, I don't know when it will happen. I want things to get a little bit better with the energy there. I think the US is going through its Saturn return. So hold on to your faith. Hold on to your faith. Have routines. Take your minerals. Get sunlight. And that would be the most important. And when I say pray, whoever you feel like calling, whoever you feel comfortable, the way you feel that is your beautiful, unique way that you like to connect to Source God. Women are difficult, especially about other motherhood. Yeah. I ask God to help me become the best version of myself, spiritually, mentally, physically, emotionally, release everything from my life that is no longer working in my highest good, every thought, every emotion, every habit, every person, every food, and replace it with the highest form of self-love. Amen. Where have you moved to? I moved to Pakistan. I moved to a different continent. Yeah, I moved far away. I moved 5 years ago. It was originally I was just going to come here, give birth to my son, and then come back. But then I really just fell in love with the easy life and the flow, and it just kind of like I just stayed. I'm not Pakistani. That's the thing. My husband is. I was born in Canada. I was raised in the U.S., but my parents are Kurdish. My parents are Kurdish. Um, my husband is Bakhtun, right?
From Pakistan.
Pashtun, they would say. Are you still planning to come back or stay put? For now, we just want the energy to like kind of get a little bit better. But if we would I ever move back permanently to? I don't think so. I just think quality of life is better here. Food is better. It's more family oriented. Uh, it's not about work. So, like, let me give you an example. Right now, my husband used to have a 9 to 5 office job. Some days he would walk in at 11. Some days he'd walk in at 9, but he never got in trouble for it. If there was days where I didn't feel good, he would just call in and be like, I'm working from home. In the US, there was always this, like, it felt like you would always feel like everything was about work, 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 work. And then you feel guilty for taking, I don't know, am I making any sense? And then life is just way harder. Everything from going to the doctors to grocery shopping to insurance to driver's insurance. Like the other day, I was driving around, I got pulled over. I don't have my license here yet. And the guy was just like, all right, just, have your license on you next time. If that happened in the US, like my car would get impounded. I would be like, it's just people are just way more relaxed. So with doctors, so if you want to go to the doctors, you just call up the doctor's receptionist and you go, they're like, the doctor's here till 5. She has 3 patients. You can come around 4. If you can make it today, if not, come tomorrow. Easy peasy. I don't even need a doctor to go get blood work. I can walk into any state of the art laboratory. I could do a full body scan, blood work, pay out of pocket. If I need anything, I can walk into the pharmacy, again, get anything I need. That is autoimmune. I'm just going to ask you, are you in a very stressful situation? I got very mild alopecia years ago when I was super, super, super stressed. At the time, I just got steroids injected into my scalp, and that's what helped stop it. But I don't know. I know that severe stress can trigger it on. Severe stress can trigger you into autoimmune.
John, there is a question on YouTube. John, there is a question from YouTube. Are there any supplements we can take to cleanse our blood?
Burdock root is an herb. Burdock root is known to do that. Zor will be fulvic and humic acid, and it will remineralize the blood. But burdock root will also help cleanse, and there's lymphatic drainage and hydrating well. So, but the medical system's kind of the same all over in Bridget, that they, because my whoa, what's going
You
on?
have to be super accurate, apparently.
Okay. My brother-in-law is a doctor, so I went through his medical books. They don't really treat the root cause, but Pakistan's really into homeopathics, and that is kind of interesting. So my husband's uncle is a homeopathic doctor, and it's very big here. How did you guys get into homeopathics?
Colonialism?
No.
Yeah. Well, this region has always been big on alternative medicine.
Yeah. So I'm in a country where it's really huge on alternative medicine, which is cool. And doctors kind of go, okay, well, you're doing homeopathics. They kind of like roll their eyes, but you can do both. And it's very easy to find a homeopathic doctor. Like when I had postpartum, like really bad hair loss, we went to a clinic and I think we paid like $15 and he gave me a few homeopathic shampoos and it worked within 2-3 weeks. Yeah, definitely. Definitely. I'm 100% agreed. And it's really, I did steroids at the time, Nana, because when your immune system is in fight or flight, I did steroids and I did that with a dermatologist, and that was the only thing that stopped. And of course, thank you. Of course, I kind of helped. I got rid of the people who were stressing me out. Just you got to cut them out. Oh yeah, I 100% agree. Not the cream. It's not a cream. He would literally inject it into the spots. Mm. Yeah, it wasn't a cream. It
Did you
wasn't.
increase the volume on the mic?
No, why?
Okay.
So I would try to find a different dermatologist then, my dear. It's the same, Bridget. Abi Energy 22. Everything's the same. I made another TikTok account where I post what I eat in a day, and that's DHA mommy. So I find the shots at the time worked the most. The shots worked the most, and then of course I left that environment that was stressing me out. I try the cream, pray for the breast, but with the cream, what you could do is just get a derma stamp and stamp it in, and then maybe get a red light helmet. It wouldn't hurt to get a red light helmet. I knew a girl who was starting to get alopecia and then she got pregnant and it went away because, believe it or not, babies do send stem cells to different. Um, I know a woman who had the C word down there. She got pregnant and after she gave birth, her C word was gone. She had cervical C and it was gone. So babies do send. I'm not saying go get pregnant, but that was one thing. I definitely knew a girl who was getting like onset of alopecia and Muskan. She was like she was having alopecia and then it went away.
Muskan is our cousin.
Yeah, my eyebrows are gone. I have thyroid. Bridget, they're doing something. What was that thing you did on your scalp?
Minoxidil.
No, the stem cell.
Oh,
Exosomes.
exosome.
Exosomes, and you can ask them to inject it into your eyebrows, and it will help thicken it. But yes, you getting your thyroid. You want to get on some thyroid medicine, not PRP. It's exosomes.
No,
It's
not working.
PRP doesn't. My husband. So these things are they're not as expensive in Pakistan with a good dermatologist. PRP exosomes, that's where you see the real effects. So they have Korean and the US. The US ones are a little bit more expensive. And God, I wish I could show them a before and after.
First got the Korean and then got the American.
You got the American. Which one did you like better?
The American was
The American exosomes? Yeah. I have
USA,
Hashimoto.
baby.
And I remember I did the Korean one a little bit in my eyebrow, but it didn't do much. So I was like, I have Hashimoto's too. Diana, look into low-dose LND. LND, get off gluten. You have to get off gluten. You have to get off gluten. Major trigger. And look into supporting your liver. ALA, taking sunflower lecithin, getting bile flow. I asked my doctor about I don't even know if doctors would know what that is. She asked her doctor, she didn't recommend it. I mean, I don't know. I've been taking it for 8 years now, and I feel like I wouldn't look and feel the way I do without minerals, but I would never tell my doctor I'm taking it because she would just look at me like I'm crazy. There's certain things you just don't bring up to the doctor because they're just going to be like, okay. That helps with lowering Hashimoto's antibodies. That helps with lowering Hashimoto's antibodies. Oh, really? I did freak. See, I post see vid. Oh my God. Oh my God. Katie's okay. You guys, I'm so fangirling right now. This girl, I was just speaking about her. Look, she's on my live. This girl is so amazing. She speaks to spirit, your spirit babies. She can also channel. I forgot that, Katie, I forgot to tell you. So my husband is actually dear friends with what's Amy, and she speaks to your loved ones who have passed on. If you guys know, she kind of goes live all the time. Well, she has almost 2 million followers. She's been doing this for 5 years. But I was telling my husband, because I know Amy, sometimes I tune into her lives. I was like, this girl, Katie, she has the gift. She has the gift. So if you're on your fertility journey, please give her a follow. She has brought me so much comfort. I never tune into lives, but for some reason, like I look forward to her lives because being on your fertility journey is one of the most emotionally exhausting. And I do feel like God was like, both times I got pregnant, it was so easy for me. And I just got like, look at me, I'm in my 40s and I can get pregnant. And then this last year has been one of the hardest years, going through menopause and trying, and it can be very draining. So I feel like she helps you have the faith, keep the faith. And she just gives you that boost to keep hope, because without hope and without faith, you're guarded. And that goes for anything in your life, whether it be you're trying to manifest a relationship or you're trying to have a healthier body. If you're closed up and you think it's hard, it's not going to come through. Again, everything is energy. Everything is connected. Every thought you have, like look at the body here. It's like one freeway. So what you think here has an effect on every single part of yourself. How do you feel about testosterone for perimenopause? I actually do. For me, I take the estrogen. I do a little bit of progesterone, bioidentical. I haven't had to do testosterone because I take Shilajit and it has enough testosterone. But for me, estrogen was a game changer. Just followed. Oh, yay, Bridget. I tend to go live there because there's no issues. And then I just want to show you guys the aura. And for all my Christians out there, even Jesus, he would talk about the aura. Because sometimes I talk about rituals and placing salt, and people are like, oh my God, that is so. No, even Jesus Christ would walk around with oil and anoint people. Like everything has energy, and you can do rituals with salt and olive oil, and you can bless the olive oil, and you can put water and speak intention. Everything holds energy. And that's why I think I'm going to make a video about this. Who you share your energy with is very important because it's a give and change. And somebody on here was like, oh, I had autoimmune. Yeah. I am prone to autoimmune. It runs in my family, but it only gets triggered when I'm around energy vampires. So it's really important to protect your energetic field. Really important. And here you go. You see? So everything has an aura, and some people's aura is bright, and then other people's aura who have had a lot of trauma, who take a lot of shrugs, it will change. It will be heavier, be darker. I had a friend who, dear friend, she could actually read auras. She was just so amazing. I heard a couple of quotes lately. One, your body's never deficient in pharmaceuticals. Deficient because we're getting it in the water. How do you feel I would be healthier if I lived alone? Sometimes when I met my husband at 39, I was, for the first time in my life, in the happiest place. I was alone. I had a routine, a protocol. I was just like, every day consists of going on walks, going in my sauna, working. I was, for the first time in my life, I wasn't looking for happiness outside of myself. Same thing with my husband. So we met each other, we became good friends, and we weren't really both looking. It just kind of happened. And then I got pregnant. It was like, wow, okay, it was just meant to be. But when you start looking for happiness outside of yourself, whether that be through a person or through shopping or whatnot, especially relationship, that was a mosquito. It never really works. I would love to give Shilajit a try. Is there any discounts? Yes, email us or DM me. We always,
Just go there, it's discount.
oh yeah, on our website, there actually are discounts right now. Sorry. I regularly soak donuts and run Brazil. Yes, you always want to soak your nuts because nuts are harder to digest. It also gets rid of the lectins. Lectins are like gluten. They're very hard to digest. And in Chinese medicine, when you soak them, they're just easier to extract the minerals. Walnuts actually help the kidneys. Kidneys are like the batteries to the body. And Brazil nuts help with selenium in your thyroid. But here's the thing with Brazil nuts, it's really important the soil it's grown in, the highest being from Hawaii. Again, your nuts are only as good as the soil it grows in. So I would say if you do have thyroid issues, to take a good selenium. The study showed 200 milligrams or more to help balance the thyroid. I've heard many stories about traveling to another country helps. So it's not just that. Traveling helps. Some of the soaked walnuts overnight. Traveling actually helps. Some of the biggest, before they became millionaires, billionaires, they actually traveled. Steve Jobs, um, um, Steve Jobs, traveling. My husband and I, we were looking at some of our trajectory of sales. And whenever we traveled, we not even doing it, we were just relaxed. We had the most abundant month because traveling activates something. And like I said, we just built this home from scratch. And last year we were renting a 9 home. We were all living together. I had one of the worst emotional years ever. And I was like, what's going on? Like, what is like, and that's when I kind of got into numerology. And they're like, oh, if you live in a 9 home and you don't have 9 in your birth chart, it can be very heavy. It's about cycles ending. Like last year, we just ended a 9 cycle. And this is 1. If you, 2, 2026, 4 plus 6 is 10, 1 plus 0 is 1. So we're starting a 9-year cycle. Last year was very heavy. I don't know if you guys felt the same. So that's when I like looked up the house we were building, right? We were renting while we were building this home, and it was a 4 home. And I was like, oh, okay, 4 is about discipline. Nothing comes easy, but it's long-term discipline. So we move here and things just felt heavier and heavier. Like I'm doing everything for my fertility. He's doing everything right for the business, but it just felt like we were hitting roadblocks. So then my husband, he's really into this stuff as well. He looked into Feng Shui and Vastu, and everything has an energetic field as well as your home. And the entrance of your home is like the mouth. It's the chi that flows in and out. Apparently our entrance is in one of the worst placing entrance, southwest facing. So I was like, oh, that's great. So we bought some plants and we bought a copper pyramid, and and it's starting to feel a little bit lighter. We bought a waterfall. We placed it in the north. So honestly, it really, really worked. Like a lot of the problems that were just kind of hovering over us started to like move and get solved. So I really, really, truly believe in energy. And the beauty about energy is you can change it. You can change it. And one thing Katie knows about me, whenever she pulls a card, she knows when I'm going to that dark place because I tend to, and she just she'll pull a card and she'll just be like, you're going to the, and that's when I just start to pray more and I try to like trust in divine timing. And one thing I would suggest all you guys do, go on YouTube and look up Qigong. There are people who have been able to visualize the C word leaving their body. And you see the age. And if you have a backyard, I do this every day around 4:00. Go barefoot and you just stand and you just do you envision the chi and like releasing everything that no longer serves you. Because here's the thing, if you hold on to it, it will start to become, it's trusting yourself. My thing is I walk, I'm in my mid 40s and I thought I could get pregnant again naturally, which I did. But I thought it could, it's been a year and a half and I go into the doctor's office and luckily my doctor listens to me. I'm like, let's try this and we'll go for an IUI. And last she's like, let's do some injections. It was the first time and we did it and nothing happened. And she just looked at me. She's like, you need to go for IVF and I can't help you. I've done everything. And I was like, okay. I walked out of there and I'm like, no, you didn't do everything, because there was one more trick I have up my sleeve. So she thinks I went to a clinic that she's recommending, which is 8 hours away because they have better technology. But I'm going to surprise her next month and I'll be like, see, I think this is going to work. But it's about believing in yourself. And of course, if I have to go down IVF, of course, we'll do that. Everything. Part of me doesn't want to, but I'm trying to be open-minded. So if you're on any journey, your energy and the way you think about it and go about it, that can either open up the blockages or close them. I know. And I feel like God is like, Juwan, you need to start practicing what you preach. And for me, the Lord is just putting me through a test. Because I told my husband, I was like, my whole life I've been able to manifest and get anything I've wanted. Why is this? And he's like, maybe it's because it's trying to make you a stronger person. So whatever you're going through, please don't look at it as why me. Understand, how am I going to become a better, stronger person once this chapter of my life is over? Because we have many chapters. And for that 25-year-old girl on here, when I was your age, I had nothing figured out. I was filing for bankruptcy. I was going through a really bad relationship, physically, mentally abusive. I had no clue what was going on. I didn't have things figured out until my mid-30s. And even then, it was like a slow, gradual. And then when I hit 40, it just I didn't even want kids at one point because I was like, I can't even take care of myself. And then I got pregnant at 40 on the first try. So life, if you just start to fill your own cup and you really believe in yourself and you believe in the miracle and that you deserve better, and as long as you put in the work, I'm telling you, the doors will open up. And I hope this resonates with whoever had to hear this. I do have to go. It's dinner time. I don't want to eat too late. Actually, you know what? I'm going to skip dinner because it's too late right now. And you should not eat so late. It's not good for your blood sugar, but I'm going to make some tea. Any questions before I go? Katie, you guys, please give her a follow. If you are going through anything, if you're on your fertility journey, or if you want to just connect to a loved one and you need guidance, she's one of the best spiritual. She's amazing. Do you do any? I do whole health and wellness. So if you have some blood work, it's always helpful. But if not, I always ask for a picture of your tongue in the morning. That always works as well. I'm just trying to charge in the phone. And Katie, I'd love to do a one-on-one with you. So if you don't have blood work is always helpful. Iron, ferritin, a thyroid panel. But if not, you can tell a lot by your tongue. Your hair looks luscious and thick. What are you using? Girl, I've been using so many supplements for my fertility journey. And I think it's just, but one thing, everybody needs to massage their scalp, because without proper blood flow, like blood is like oxygen, water. So if your scalp is stressed and heavy, and if you can't move it like this or do this or pinch your scalp, then most likely it's very stiff. And you can just use your fingers. I have a Chinese device. And then nourishing your blood. Beef liver is amazing. You can make your own supplements. I take Shilajit, which I'd love to send you, Katie. I wanted to send you one that gives you potassium, iron, but really massaging. And I've been doing this for 1.5 years, taking supplements daily for my egg health. So I think it's just kind of like been paying off. A lot of people are like, oh, you look younger. I think it's the strict diet that I'm on. Today I had some chocolate. I'm like, I'm just so over this, like no sugar. Like I just ate into the chocolate bar, but always have sugar with some. So then I had a little bit of tahini to balance out the glucose spike. But I was like, I'm just so over this. I just had some chocolate. But I've been trying to like be, at my age, when you're in your 20s, you can get away with it. But as you get older, your eggs are a little bit more delicate. You have to be a little bit more proactive about these things. How recent should blood work be? 3 months, 6 months, no more than 6 months, but like even the last year, but really 3 months is the best. If it's really recent, it's even more helpful. But again, if you don't have blood work, I would ask you to send a picture of your tongue first thing in the morning before you drink anything, and that will tell us a lot. Like if you have ridges, that's your spleen. And in Chinese medicine, the spleen is like the crock pot of the body. Any food you eat, it takes that and transforms it into blood. If your spleen is weak from over worrying, if your spleen is weak from eating too many raw, cold things, if your spleen is weak from you were on too many antibiotics, then even you can tend to run anemic. And the other thing is, when you have a very weak spleen, staying pregnant can be harder. So when I got pregnant last year at 42, we had just lived in mold. Mold, again, dampness invades your body. And I knew as soon as I got pregnant, like something, I was having runny stools every day. And the spleen, when your spleen really collapses, like you get runny stools. In pregnancy, you need to be making a lot of blood. Actually, your blood volume, it's not just weight, it's a lot, it's more blood in your. So when the spleen is weak, getting pregnant, but more staying pregnant is harder. So there's things you can do for your spleen. One thing you can do, if you feel like you have a lot of water retention, you have bloat, you tend to have cold hands and feet, you get bloated after meals, your stools are very sticky, like almost like you have to wipe a lot, or they're watery, or they're not solid, then you would want to include Job's tear. It says porridge, and that will almost like start to grab some of that water circulation that you're not draining well, and start to like, and lymphatic drainage. Every morning you want to get your lymph node is like the pump, the sewer system. Sauna is wonderful, but if you're on your fertility journey, you don't want to be doing it too much. So maybe getting a vibrating plate. Job's tear is it's kind of like a bean. Job's tear. So back in when the American soldiers were in Vietnam and it was very humid and they had all their equipment on, they started to get bloated and the humidity was invading them. And so the villagers, the Vietnamese, started to give them Job's tear, and they just like all that water retention they were holding on to just went away. Like my, you know how some women, they have like water retention in their legs? That's the water's not circulating. So something like Job's tear is really great. Now, combined with that, if you're having trouble losing, we can't talk about, that was my sister, I'll call her later. You would want to drink hawthorn berry tea. And then for minerals, you would just add in Shilajit, because at the end of the day, you need all your minerals coming in. You're supposed to get them through the soil, through our food, but our food is heavily energy. These are all the minerals from the periodic table. I'm 11 months postpartum and breastfeeding. Thank you. I breastfed for 2 years. I took Shilajit, beef liver, and you just want to hydrate. Sunflower lecithin will help make more blood, but you need to be replenishing, or you will be taken from reserves. And if you want to get pregnant later on, sometimes it can become harder because your body's very depleted. So just make sure to take care of yourself. Should I continue taking turmeric ashwagandha supplement? You can definitely. Just make sure your turmeric is from a good source, because it can contain lead and you don't want that. Fenugreek is good, and it has phytoestrogen. So if you're not estrogen dominant, it's great. But one fertility tea that is grateful for anybody with PCOS or blood sugar dysregulation: cloves, red onion, the skin, which is high in quercetin. And as you're on your period, if you have PMS symptoms, sometimes people get itchy nose. That's your histamine going up. So red onion, the skin, clove, and nettle, and you can add a little bit of jujubes. That's for your kidneys. What's good for perimenopause? Honestly, I did all the herbal stuff. I'm always a firm believer in also some Western medicine is good and it's backed by science. I went for bioidentical estrogen and progesterone, and it made so much of a difference. Like, I can't. I was trying to do the holistic stuff, the night sweats. It was awful. And as soon as I switched to a little bit of bioidentical estrogen and then progesterone, and you never take them at the same time. That's where you want to work with a good doctor, but you would take estrogen during certain times of your cycle, and then progesterone in your luteal phase if you still have a period. If not, then you would start progesterone on cycle day 22, and you would you would figure it out with your doctor. Do you still have a period, my love? Definitely. No, you don't have a period. How old are you? So my period, 45. Yeah. Did it start happening at 44? Kind of happened to me it's just like one day I woke up, I'm like, whoa, where's my period? What's going on? I'm getting a hot flash. It just kind of springs up on you. So 42. Wow. I started getting it at 44. Yeah. It started in August. It just happened overnight. I have a period now with HRT. It's not a true period, but I still have some follicles that we're trying to wake up and see. But I would say that's where you need to work with a doctor. You would go in, they would test you, and then ask for the estrogen patches or cream. That's the best way. The oral stuff is very hard. Your liver has to break it down, and then you have to take it very hard on the body. And then ask for bioidentical progesterone. Always don't go with the synthetic progesterone. It does not work the same. It's like they both can unlock the door, but the one key doesn't fit and it bangs the door. So there's more side effects. You always want to go for bioidentical progesterone. And maybe with you, if you're in the States, in the US, you can look for a NAPRO doctor. Those are the best hormonal fertility doctors. They're way cheaper than IVF, and they're willing to holistically work with you along with, if you're trying to get pregnant, they could try to do medicated cycles. I don't know if you want to, but a good NAPRO doctor would be your best way to go. NAPRO, NAPRO, and it stands for Natural Approach Pregnancy. I forgot what the RO stands for.
Reverse osmosis.
We have a reverse. So my husband's really, I'm very blessed. I always wanted a husband who was like into this health and wellness, and he got the water tank, the reverse osmosis. He's into all that stuff. So the oral estrogen is a lot harder because your liver has to methylate and break it down, and our livers are already kind of fatigued. So one tea that you always want to drink is dandelion routine. Now, if you are taking any IVF meds or even just HRTs, ALA supplements, wonderful. It just helps your liver. And if you have the MTHFR gene where you can't break down B vitamins, then TMG is helpful. But the oral is awful. They put me on the oral and I didn't like it. This month, my doctor has no clue. I bought all the stuff myself, the fertility stuff, and I'm just going to do it and go in cycle day 7 with a scan. If anything, if it doesn't work, there's more data if we have to move on to the next round, which is IVF. But I really hope I don't have to do that because and I told my husband, I was like, if these doctors don't want to listen to peer studies and just want one formula fits all, like jack her up with, we're walking out of there because mini IVF is a lot gentler on you, especially when you have less eggs in your reserve. Pumping you up sometimes puts your ovaries in shock. Like, I don't want to do this. So like doing a little bit of letrozole and then cycle day 7 going in with like a little bit of FSH stimulating hormone. And then there's wonderful studies on getting in the hyperbaric chamber and supporting. That is the best way to go. But if you decide to do IVF, please make sure your ferritin is right, your vitamin D, you don't have any bloat or water retention or dampness, because the last thing you want to do is waste that much money emotionally, physically. You want to just make sure that IVF works with your body and not just like, let's throw some darts and see if it sticks. I'm 34 and I only had one period, but I have been pregnant and breastfeeding. That is normal. That is very normal. Nothing to be concerned about. Are you still breastfeeding? If anything, that's almost really good in that I got my period as soon as I was breastfeeding my son, 3 months. I wish it didn't come on so fast because I was losing eggs faster, but I don't want to be on birth control other than. So if you know your cycle, you would want to just pull out. And you can only, you can only really get pregnant realistically 7 days out of the month. They say sperm lives in you for up to 5 days if the environment is, but I would say track your cycles and just around cycle day 8 to 15, just make sure he doesn't inside of you. Could you get pregnant from pre?
No,
it's very hard. It's like winning the lottery. It's very hard. And especially with today, a lot of male people are also facing no phone in the pockets if your husband, no phone, no laptop on the laps. If he has problem with testosterone, look into pine pollen. It's amazing, the studies to boost your testosterone. Shilajit helps with sperm mobility. But number one is to keep that phone away from that area. no saunas. What else would you say? Getting sunlight.
Yeah.
Getting sunlight, really
Don't
important.
drink, stay up late.
Staying
and
up
do
late.
some strength training.
Are there foods and teas we should drink to prevent miscarriages?
And sleep.
The most important thing is strengthening your spleen, and spleen also governs the muscles. It governs the muscles, your uterus being a muscle. It governs the blood. Spleen doesn't like anything cold. It likes warming foods, because think of it this way. We live in a world today where we're not metabolically all healthy. The food is crap. We're not getting enough sunlight, fresh air. We're in front of devices. We're scrolling. Our minds are constantly wired. We're not sleeping. Our circadian rhythm, the biological clock, you know how birds wake up with the sunrise. Everything is kind of off. We're not living in alignment with nature. So on top of that, you add a lot of these ice drinks, these ice colas or sodas or caffeine. One of the worst things you can do. But lots of raw things, because think of your digestion as having a fire. When you don't have enough minerals and you're stressed, or you're taking a lot of antibiotics or birth control, you're eating a lot of the wrong foods, that fire becomes weaker. So then your spleen has to work harder. So then getting pregnant or staying pregnant isn't, because this is becoming weaker and weaker. So warm foods is number one. Kanji, look up kanji. It's one of the most delicious things. Basically, what we do is we buy ground beef. I can do videos on this, or do it on my other accounts. You throw it in. You can just go onto YouTube, kanji. You throw in as many vegetables. You can do onions, mushroom, and you slow cook it, almost like porridge, like oatmeal. And it's all together. It's like meat, and it's so delicious. Whenever my husband eats it, he's like, his bloat goes away. He has a...
What is that? What are you
He
doing?
wakes up really, like he's
What
like
the-
ready to go.
What's wrong?
You told me that. You're like, it's just like the blood flow is flowing. Okay. You'd want to look into like pomegranate juice is wonderful in your luteal phase.
It's just
Again,
that
room
for
temperature.
men, it's very important to sleep. Sleep is just
Sleep is important for everybody, me included. The spleen loves like black sesame seed balls. You can roast the black sesame seed, add a little bit of honey, and turn it into balls, and have one of those a day. But really, the foods, pumpkin, think of like pumpkin, radish, things that kind of also have sulfur and help the liver. Most important thing is stay away from cold drinks. Even when it comes to like strawberries, I just cook everything. Raspberries build your blood, but you want to kind of like cook and simmer everything. Okay. How do I try? So there's something called the Chinese fertility calendar. Basically, you go on it, just type in Chinese fertility gender calendar. I know 3 women who wanted a boy, like they had too many girls, they wanted a boy, and they followed it and they got their boy. Based on your age and the month you try, it kind of tells you if you're going to have a boy or girl. Now, when I got pregnant with my son, I went on there, and this was before, and they're like, you're going to have a boy. Sure enough, I had a boy. So I don't know how accurate it is, but I would look into that. Some people say like if you do it closer to right when you ovulate, it's a boy. But if you do, again, we don't really know. But if you really, really wanted a girl, they do an IVF. They can do gender selection. I tried it. It didn't work. You have 5 boys. Love, she has 5 boys. God bless her. I have 1 son, and I'm like, He's an Aries. He just has way too much energy. He's all fire. Aries, Leo, Sagittarius.
You can unplug this. Just move it.
Unplug it? Oh. I love my son, but I couldn't imagine having 5 of him.
Move it to that side.
Okay. Well, I'm going to go because it's getting late. What about Taurus? I've never had any Taurus friends. My husband loves earth signs. He's very attracted to like Virgo, Capricorn, Taurus, but we're both Scorpios. A lot of my dear best friends were Aquarius for some reason. It's a never dull. Yeah, I can only imagine. And they just, your sons, boys are just Virgo here. We're good with water. Yeah, my husband loves Virgos. My sister's a Gemini. I don't know many Geminis, but actually, no, I do. But I would say I get along with earth signs. So Taurus, Capricorn, other Scorpios, because if you meet a Scorpio, you can talk about the most, you want to go into conspiracy theory land, you want to go dive into the deepest rabbit holes, we're diving. We're nothing. My mentor who taught me everything, she was a Scorpio. I love her. I have 3 Taurus boys, 1 Cancer, 1 Leo. Wow. How's the Leo? He must be like the star, like this, just the sun shining in the house. Taurus, just, when I was pregnant, we wanted a girl. And last time I was pregnant, we lost her. At that point, I was like, I don't care if it's a boy or girl. I'm just so grateful to be pregnant and have another baby. But if we could, we would prefer a girl. We're once one. So Virgos and Scorpios were once one in astrology. Yeah, I didn't know that. All right, I'm going to go. I love each and every one of you. Thank you for joining my live. Thank you for being part of my day. Before I go, I just want to do a quick prayer. Again, who you feel comfortable calling upon, that is your personal journey of how you like to connect to God's source. We're not here to judge. This is a very judgmental free zone. We're here to support and love each other. So with that, I ask God, my angel guides, my spirit guides, to help me become the best version of myself, physically, mentally, emotionally. Release everything from my life that is no longer serving my highest good. Every thought, every emotion, every habit, every person, every food. And replace it with the highest form of self-love for myself, my family, my community. Amen. It was so nice. And as always, if I didn't get to you, just DM me. And do you want to say anything before we leave?
Yeah, we'll try to be more regular with our lives. And
We'll try to be
improve the
more
system.
regular. It's really disappointing that I'm always getting flagged. Really, really disappointing.
We'll figure it out.
We're going to figure it out. Discouraging, but follow my other page, it's DHA Mommy, and that's where I'll be posting more of like what I eat in a day and maybe more recipes. Would you guys like more recipes of some of these foods that I've been incorporating on my fertility journey that really just help you feel your best, look your best? Yay, nay, maybe so.
By the way, do you
Yeah.
guys would like a Q&A format where we speak to each other and we ask each other questions?
Maybe. Okay, it's DHA Mommy. It's my other page. You can follow me there. I started it on my fertility journey, and then I just
Who thinks it's a good idea? Leave a fire emoji.
okay, leave a fire emoji. I started it. I wanted to give women fertility tips, and then I don't know. I just kind of like I didn't want to do that content anymore because then, like a lot of women, like, "Are you pregnant yet? Are you pregnant?" It was putting pressure on me, and I was like, "Whoa, whoa, whoa! This is not the direction of the page I wanted to go on." So then I'm just gonna like do more like lifestyle, food content. Yeah.
Here goes one. Fire emojis. Okay. I am.
Candles. Okay, it's another Aries birthday in the
I'll
house.
show you.
Oh, he wants to
show.
Here you go, candles.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Candles.
Whose birthday is it?
Oh,
It's my birthday.
No, it's Papa's
yeah,
birthday.
every birthday is his birthday. So let's go.
Okay. Thank you guys. Bye.
Say bye to.
Bye.
Say bye to.
Bye.
YouTube.
Bye. Bye. Dada, can you open this?
Yeah, bye.
Dada's open.
Okay, so on. You have to say bye here, and then we'll.
Oh, bye. Bye.
Bye.
I didn't even know that was on.